Hi there everyone, Mark from Retribution Gaming here, and I welcome you to the conclusion of Amstrad Anniversary. In this video I'm going to have a rundown of my leaderboard and award the game that came out on top. So let's take a look at them, shall we? Before we get to that though, I do think that I should make a special mention for Return to Oz, which is the only game that I played that I didn't actually give a rating to. And I use the term game in the loosest possible sense. It's actually essentially an interactive slideshow, and a very slow, frustrating one at that. So that still remains off the leaderboard. And so let's start with the bottom 5, shall we? With an R rating of 10%, Back to the Future was most definitely the worst game I played in the series. It had terrible graphics, its controls were terrible, there was no clear indication of what you had to do in the game, it was slow, it was clunky, it was just a very horrible experience. So, Back to the Future, 10%, bottom of the board. Coming in not much higher is The Running Man with 15%. It was just a mess from the beginning. I mean, you couldn't progress in the game. The controls just weren't responsive. It was just a nightmare, quite frankly. Third from bottom with 20% is Ghostbusters. Now, I've never liked this game since the time I first played it back in the day. I still don't like it now. It's horrible, it looks bad, it's just not a great experience. Also in at 20% but rated just a little bit higher is Boulder Dash, which I could see the appeal for, but it just wasn't for me, quite frankly. And then jumping up to a relatively whopping 40%, we have the CPC conversion of Altered Beast, which again is a game that I've never liked. I never liked it when I played it on the Mega Drive, and I don't like the Amstrad version. I will give it props though for the graphics. They did a great job with the graphics, but aside from that, the game is just a bit of a slog. And so now with that lot out of the way, let's check out the actual cream of the crop, shall we? The top 5. Well, actually, it's more like a top 7, as we have a 4-way tie for third place, with RoboCop, Vindicators, Batman, and Hudson Hawk. All very, very good games, and considering the fact 3 of them are movie licenses, I mean, that's saying something about the quality of the licensed games back then. I loved the nostalgia coming back to me after playing Hudson Hawk and Vindicators again, and even though I'd played various different ports of the Batman and RoboCop games, I'd never played these 2 before, and I was very, very, very pleasantly, well, not pleasantly surprised isn't the right word, but I was very entertained by the experience. However, we also have a tie for second place, and I mean, playing both of these, you can't, in my opinion, separate them. They are both great games in their own right, and there's a reason as to why they're considered some of the greatest arcade games ever made. And those are Golden Axe and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game, or Hero Turtles if you prefer. As I say, both excellent games, excellent arcade games. I loved them to bits. I love the home ports on the Amstrad. They were both brilliantly done. They ran at a fair speed, the graphics looked excellent, the control was tight, it was playing the arcade game on the Amstrad, is all I can say. It was a great port of both games. But, in the immortal words of Highlander, there can be only one, and our top game is uncontested at the top of the stack. It is, in my opinion, one of the greatest games ever made. It is one of my favourite games of all time. I remember having great fun with it when I used to play it in the arcades, and I never played this home conversion of it, although I did enjoy the version on the Game Boy. So, without further ado, our number one top game is Gauntlet. This game looks great, this game plays great. You can have loads of enemies on screen at one time. The challenge is there. It's all there from the arcade game. It is the whole arcade experience crammed into an Amstrad game. It is just fantastic, and I don't know what else there is to say about it really. It is just absolutely brilliant, and I would urge you guys to play it. So yeah, that is my opinion. Feel free to let me know how wrong I was in the comments. But with that brings Amstrad Anniversary to a close. I will put the full leaderboard down in the video description if you're interested in where the rest of the games slotted in. But I had a lot of fun doing this. It was great revisiting a load of the old Amstrad games again, and I'm going to pepper in a few here and there in the future, so I'll still be revisiting the system. But until then, I guess, thank you so much for watching and for watching the series, and I hope to see you for the next one. So until then, I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.